Welcome back to BeerFormers. This is our 33rd episode. We're so excited to be here. You might notice we're in somewhere different than usual. Usually we're surrounded by Transformers, but unfortunately, we live in the St. Louis area here. We had a massive storm the other day, and our basement flooded a little bit. So we're down there trying to get all the carpet dried out and all the water swept down the drain.
Yeah, kind of a mess.
Kind of a mess, yeah. So we've been sucking up a lot of water, pouring it down the drain.
The toys are fine.
The toys are fine. Don't worry. Yes. Everything's. Thank God, the toys are fine. No, it really wasn't that bad. I mean, it's a big deal because we don't want to. Hopefully, our carpet doesn't get ruined. We're confident we'll be able to dry it out before any kind of mold sets in. But anyway, it was just enough to we didn't want to be downstairs for it because we're trying to dry it all out. So we moved up here to a different room in our home. And we're going to go ahead and do our episode from here this week. So in honor of all that water we've been sucking up, and in honor of upcoming camping season for us, my wife and I here in Noel, we're big campers. We love to go camping and stuff, and so we got a beer that kind of fits in with that.
Yeah.
So like I said, we've been sucking up an awful lot of water. Our dog is deciding that this is the best time he wants to go play with his bones over there. So you hear weird noises. That's him over there frolicking. Go get it, Ronan. You show that bone who's best.
He's been sleeping
all day.
Yeah.
He loves to get excited. He's excited about BeerFormers too.
I think he is. Yeah, he likes to be part of it.
So in honor of all of that water that we've sucked up for the last couple of days, we're going to talk about some Transformers that kind of suck.
I can't believe it.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you want to watch this episode, right?
Right. But and I don't believe that you think any of them suck.
Well, okay. It's a matter of, it's like a spectrum, right? So there's highs, there's lows. Like, yeah, you're right. I don't think anything truly sucks for the most part. But these are six.
Six? Good Lord.
3 Decepticons, 3 Autobots that came out toward the late end of the original G1 line that had a singular gimmick that went with them.
What's that?
Okay, well, remember several episodes back we did the Monster Bots.
Yes. Okay,
do you remember what those were? They had what was their main gimmick besides that they turned into monsters?
That they all formed a team.
They were a team.
And they spit fire.
They spit fire.
Yes.
Okay. So as I mentioned in the episode, I guess Hasbro must have got a good deal on Sparkers or something like that. Because they came out with another set of toys that, like I said, that did that same gimmick, right? And they are the Firecons and the Sparkabots.
Aww.
Okay. So here, let's introduce the Sparkabots first. Okay. Sparkabots. 3 Autobots that turn into vehicles. One's a tank.
Yeah, clearly.
Guzzle.
Yeah. Okay. It's barely. I mean, it's already transformed.
That's another reason why they kind of suck. The transformation that leads a lot of these are he's going to turn into a F1 Formula car. This one is Fizzle.
Okay.
And this one is like a funny dragster, funny car. You know if you heard that term before?
Yeah, I've heard
this one is Sizzle. Okay.
Fizzle, Sizzle, and the Drizzle.
And Guzzle.
Oh.
Drizzle. And the Shizzle.
Yeah.
With the Hizzle.
Yeah.
All right. So let's go ahead and transform these real quick. So I will do this one here.
I'm going to do this one.
Well, look at that. I just did Sizzle's arms and doing the thing I guess. So yeah, they don't have the most complex transformations in the world, do they? Okay. Now, I told you they had sparkers, right? Yeah. So on the back side of these, you'll see there's like an opening. I'll put up here an opening like that, and they've got one rubber wheel on the underside there. So if you rev it up,
whoa,
you should be able to get sparks from out. You see those sparks from out?
I'm seeing the sparks. Oh yeah, look at that. This one ain't sparking.
And then if you get them,
the little lights aren't twinkling, Clark.
If you get them going, they'll roll a little bit.
This one ain't doing it.
Well, his spark's probably dead then. They require a flint like an actual lighter would, so the flints can go bad after a while. So yeah, so Fizzle.
Ooh, that one got one.
Fizzle fizzled out. But Guzzle, it works fine, and so does Sizzle.
Fizzle and the Bizzle over here doing great. Look at that.
Yeah. So yeah, really super basic transformations. So easy, even my wife can do it.
That should have been the ad. Yeah, those do suck. Yeah. What the heck?
And for the Autobots, their sparks will come out of their rear end while they're in vehicle mode.
So like they had some hot ones.
And they really can't spark at all while they're in robot mode because it would be coming out of their feet. So you're like, oh yeah, they spark come out like that. So in the comic book, these guys got almost no play. Definitely they get any play in the cartoon because the cartoon was over by then. But they would I guess they burn up, turn and sparks and shoot out. They melt stuff. I don't know. Okay.
Well, that in your imagination they would.
Yeah, that's what's supposed to be. They can shoot fire out of their tailpipes, so that
fire comes out of their butt. That should have been the advertisement.
So what benefit that gains them, I don't know. So
Sparkabots.
Poor transformation. I mean, there's always something that's for like the little kids, right? I mean, not every you want something that even your 3-year-old can transform.
And
otherwise, they get frustrated.
Yeah,
that's not fun for them anymore.
Too.
But they could have probably tried a little harder on these guys, right?
Yeah.
Now the Firecons, they executed a different way. All right. Well, you're gonna see here they are.
Okay.
They have Flame Feather. We have Cindersar, and we have Sparkstalker. And when you look at them here, they all have a really wide stance. They've got like thunder thighs and big wide hips and stuff, right? They basically turn into essentially Godzilla monsters.
Ooh.
Okay? So when we go ahead and transfer, see if you figure them out here. They all transfer the same way. Basically, you hold the arms up. Ooh, did you break him?
I did.
Oh.
I just
I
did.
think he just snaps back together.
No, look, a piece of plastic came off.
All you gotta do is bring him up like that. And that's all you have to do.
Oh my God. Dave.
She did. No, you saw it here, folks. Noelle broke the first Transformer. What'd you do? Just like, I want to transform it? Did you really?
I thought I was doing the right thing.
So they all transform the same way. You just bring the arms up.
Okay.
Okay? And then see if you can figure out the rest of there. So, there you go. Are you nervous now?
Yeah.
Well,
this looks like it's got a...
It's a tail. Tail folds back.
Like that?
Okay. The arms fall forward, and then the head comes down. So they basically all look the same, except for the 3 different type of monsters.
Is that it?
Yeah.
It's already transformed.
Essentially. Okay. So Sparkstalker here, same way. The arms fold back, tail folds back, fold the head down, and stand him a little bit.
And how do you get the sparks on their belly?
Okay. So you have to pull their legs back like this. You pull the head up, you pull the arms up like this, and then you roll them forward, and the sparks are supposed to shoot out of their mouth.
That is the stupidest thing.
So, this one had a little bit of a spark first, but
there it goes.
Okay.
Yeah, that one had it.
So these guys, in theory, at least when they're transformed, it doesn't really work as a toy unless you can rev it up really hard and then have to transform it again. But they can at least shoot sparks out of their mouths, which kind of makes sense, right? Because they're monsters. They're fire monsters.
These are lame.
Yeah.
Good Lord, you're not wrong. These literally are the dumbest Transformers I've ever seen.
So you give them
barely transform.
You award them no points.
Yes, we're all dumber having seen them.
So now you don't feel so bad about breaking it, do you?
No, it kind of deserved it.
It deserved it. You heard it here, folks. So these guys, I think some of these Firecons.
There's another piece. I really did a number on it.
I'll see if I can probably just pop those back on there.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not a big deal. I'm not worried about it. And these guys, as a result of them being kind of lame, they're not really hard to come by and or reacquire.
These are worth -2 cents each.
So if I have to go back and try to find one again, I don't think it's going to cost me an arm and a leg.
Okay.
But yeah, so again, using the spark gimmick and I thought the spark gimmick on these were lamer just because of that. I mean, these, like I said, if you get it really going and then quickly turn it back in this mode, then the sparks come out of its mouth and it kind of looks interesting, I guess. But the transformation is garbage.
Yeah.
They're really kind of just squat and tubby. But these guys, this guy here, Cindersar in particular, has got some love in recent years. He's been remade a couple times without.
Why is that one?
Sans Spark.
Why Cindersar?
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe he got some more play in the comic book, something like that. I don't really remember too much, but yeah, he's been remade at least a couple times and slightly, in different forms.
Yeah, but if he doesn't have a spark,
but
then what is he?
The character, has been remade in different robot bodies and stuff like that. So Flame Feather and the Sparkstalker, I don't recall those haven't been remade before. And Guzzle had got remade at least once for the live action movie toy line. So there's a modern version of that. Sizzle and Fizzle? No.
So where did you get these? Did you get these at the store or did you get them later?
No, I got these later through either eBay or the Usenet trading, things like that. I've had these for a while.
So you actually actively tried to get these stupid...
Well, because I'm a completist, I gotta have everything, right? So but by and large, because their play utility is so weak, they kind of really just set on my shelf and be like, oh look, there's a little. What are these? That's a little novelty from back in the day, but there's really. I mean, even as a kid, I think you'd spark these a few times. I'm like, oh, okay, I get it.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think they probably overbought sparkers and were like, oh crap, what do we do with these? And they put some intern on designing some toys.
Or somebody came in, you're like, Jenkins, we need a hot idea. What do you got? And he's like, Sparkers? Sparkers.
Yeah.
I'm like, yes, it is. Let's do it. Sparkers. Genius.
Bizarre.
Give this man a VP position.
Yeah.
But no, that's the only time. That would,
That would track.
Okay, they have brought Sparkers back a couple other times that I can think of. In Beast Machines, there were some things that made sparks. There were like these roll around toys. They weren't necessarily a transformer in themselves. And the live action movie, with the Dinobots. I'm a blank on the name of that one. You stopped watching at that point.
It was the Transformers Rise of the Dinobots.
Might as well have been called that, but that wasn't it. Whatever the
Age of Extinction.
Age of Extinction. Oh my
Yes!
God! For somebody who said I'm not watching anymore after Dark of the Moon, it's amazing you pulled that out of your butt.
I guess I listened to you.
In Age of Extinction, they had a series of a couple toys that would spark too.
I gotcha.
But for the most part, other than these guys, I don't recall, and correct me if I'm wrong, those of you watching this, I don't think any of the other toys post these 6 and the Monster Bots were a transforming toy necessarily that sparked. You know? Well, but if you can think of anything, let me know in the comments.
So I guess they're kind of dumb, but they're kind of unique.
They're kind of dumb, they're kind of unique.
Kind of like me.
Kind of like you. Poor Flame Feather. It's okay, Flame Feather.
I'm so sorry, buddy.
Cheated me.
I do feel bad. I mean,
this one here, Sparkstalker, kind of reminds me of the Godzilla one with the arms with the rubber blades, Gigan. It reminds me of Gigan. This reminds me a little bit of Baragon from the Godzilla films. Mm-hmm. And this one, I don't know. Kind of. It's not really.
Is there a Beaky one?
There's a film that came out that wasn't a Toho film called Gappa, the Triphibian Monsters. That's what the American title was. This reminds me of Gappa a little bit, but so I'm not sure if that's exactly what they're trying to go for. Where they
Chachi.
Chachi. You call everything Chachi if you can't remember its name. So.
Anyway, there you go.
We need a title of a new show. It's a spinoff of Happy Days. Jody loves Chachi.
Call it Chachi loves Chachi.
Chachi loves Chachi.
What I would call it.
So not too many people talk about these, and you can see why.
Yeah.
But here on BeerFormers, we do not discriminate. We're going to talk about everything. So now we've talked about them, and now we can never talk about them again.
We shall never mention you again. Yeah.
So in honor of our sucky weekend of sucking water out of our basement carpet, we're going to talk about these 6 Transformers that just kind of suck.
Okay.
But in honor of camping, what are we going to talk about now when it comes to beer?
We're going to celebrate camping beer. There's 2.
You have a song about camping beer.
I do.
I wish we had time for you to perform it tonight.
I do have a song about camping beer.
Noelle likes to write little tunes for her ukulele.
And these are 2 of her favorites. Miller High Life, the champagne of beers, and Natty Light, baby.
When we go camping, now we will sometimes get nicer beers because we're not complete Hoosiers. And if you're from Indiana and in the St. Louis area, if you didn't know this, Hoosier means idiot. sorry from Indiana.
No, so sorry if you're from Indiana.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I've never understood the origin of that.
Yeah, that's why Jolie and I call people dirt legs.
Yeah,
because then nobody can be offended.
But if you're from the St. Louis area and you call someone a Hoosier, it's basically...
Or a jackleg. If you're a jackleg, you are the worst.
But since you're going to be sitting around with friends, sitting around a campfire, just shooting the breeze and just whiling the afternoon away while you're outside camping, sometimes it's nice just to have a basic beer.
Which I call camping beer.
Camping beer. So Miller High Life, Natural Life. What else do we like to do? Pabst Blue Ribbon.
So PBR.
Yeah.
We love that one. We love Stag.
Keystone Ice.
Keystone Ice. Those are all good ones. Yeah.
This is going to be the year that we're excited. In our area now, finally, in Illinois, you can get Yuengling.
Yes!
So we decided this is going to be the year of Yuengling as our camping beer.
For sure.
We'll probably get other things once in a while, but we're going to get Yuengling out there. So let's talk about these 2 great, just basic beers. So Miller High Life, what can you tell me about Miller High Life?
I love Miller High Life. I think it's a great flavor. I can drink it all day long. But one of my favorite stories about Miller High Life is the can is very similar to a ginger beer.
It's like Gosling or something like that?
Yeah, Gosling ginger beer. Yeah. And once when we were camping with our daughters when they were much younger, we had this and the ginger beer that they like to drink, and we put them in the same cooler, and our youngest daughter almost opened Miller High Life because I'm Mother of the Year. Because she thought that's what she got, a ginger beer. So that's my story about Miller High Life. But I like Miller High Life. Like, if I had to pick a camping beer, that would be my all-time go-to. Because it's nice and smooth.
Miller High Life?
Yeah.
I'd probably go PBR mostly because PBR, my grandfather, my dad's dad, that was his beer.
Yeah.
So when I think of my grandpa, I think of Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Yeah.
He always had a fridge full, and hey Dave, get me a beer. You know, he's like, get my first beer I ever took a sip of was PBR, and it's one of those, beer is an acquired taste. And when I first had my first sip of PBR, I was like, why does anyone ever drink this? Yeah. And here I am now.
I know.
Love it.
But it's not a PBR though.
No, I've got a Miller High Life this time.
Yeah.
But I like this one too. It's Miller. It's a beer.
Yeah.
The champagne of beers is a good thing.
But I'd rather drink this than Miller Lite.
Yeah.
So.
Isn't there another what the Coors? It's like Coors Banquet beer.
Yeah.
And Miller High Life, I think, are similar in many ways. What about Natty Light?
Natty Light was Anheuser-Busch's answer to Miller Lite, because the Miller Lite took everybody by surprise. Everybody thought
great taste.
Less filling.
Great taste.
Less filling. Nobody thought that men, especially, would want to drink what they called diet beer. So they were taken by
I wish it was diet
beer. So this was before Bud Light, this was their answer. So we call it Natty Light around here. I don't know what other people call it in different regions of the country.
You've also got Nat Daddy, which is like the high alcohol version. That's good to have on a camping trip.
Yeah. But I like drinking it in the old school can.
They brought that out recently. Like the kind of when they first brought it out. Yeah. But I mean, what prompted them to do like Busch Light and Bud Light then? Why have three? I guess.
I guess Busch Light was from the success of the Bud Light, but Bud Light was. They wanted a new product because they were starting to lose market share.
And this wasn't covering it.
Right. Okay. So it was a big brainstorm, and it became the biggest selling beer for many years.
I'm going to bet you, like, there's an episode of The Simpsons that most people probably who watch Simpsons are aware of, where Homer visits the Duff beer.
Yeah.
And you've got this one tube that just splits in like 5 different directions, and they all go in the same can.
Beer.
I'm going to bet you Natural Light, Bud Light, and Busch Light are all the same beer in reality.
I don't know.
And some people are like, no, it's different.
Yeah. It's been a while since we've been on to a brewery tour, so probably to do that again. But from our hometown, good old Natty Light, this will definitely do in a pinch. I drank a lot of this in college. So that's what it makes me think of.
Yeah. Remember the one year one camping season, it's probably, 10, 12 years ago, we made it our summer of crap beers.
Oh yeah, we tried to find the worst beers we could find.
Like all the ones that people are like, oh, you drink that, so this got drank.
Yeah.
I don't think we found Natty Light back there, did we?
But we found Hams.
Schlitz.
They had Schlitz was back on the market.
Yeah.
But the best one was a beer we found at Walgreens, and it was called Old Flats.
Big Flats.
Big Flats.
Big Flats.
And I'm like, why would you put the name Flats in the beer?
Yeah, you don't want flat beer.
But we drank it, and it was awful. So we were like, we
great.
have a winner.
It wasn't great. But I mean, most of your so-called, I thought, that summer that experiment. God, I wish I could remember everyone we had. But we had like Keystone and all the Keystones. And
we've had all the
Nat
Keystones.
Daddy and Nat Light and Schlitz and like I said, all that stuff like that.
Keystone Ice is a good camping beer. If we didn't mention that one.
But I thought all of them, by and large, didn't live up to the reputation.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's a horrible beer. Okay, is it like, some fancy frou-frou, beer that you get at a microbrew? Absolutely not. But is it a beer that's cold and refreshing? Sure.
Camping beer has to be cold, and it has to hit the spot. When you've been out hiking, or you're sitting around the campfire and it's starting to get a little warm, it just has to refresh you. That's all.
And if you're sitting around all day around a campfire just drinking beer, you don't want something that's basically costing you like $5 a beer either. You want something that's got good value. So you want cheap a little bit to some degree.
As I say in my song, it ain't a trip without your camping beer.
Yes. So as we get ready to begin our camping season this year, here's the camping beer.
Oh, here's the camping.
We love going camping.
Here's our camping friends.
We have a truck bed camper that goes in the back of the truck, and it's got like the stilts listed out. Our camper is called Legs. So here's the Legs.
Yeah, and here's to sucking down a few beers instead of sucking water out of our basement. Here's the Transformers that suck. And folks, we look forward to seeing you back downstairs with all the Transformers again.
As soon as our carpet dries out. So wish us luck on getting that dry without getting mold and stuff.
And again, the toys are fine.
The toys are fine. This did happen just about 10 years ago, and our carpet turned out to be fine. So if we do the same thing we did then, we should be good things. Yeah. But as we get ready to close up on this one here, as we always say, if you'd like to know any more about a Transformer that we haven't done, even if it's one that quote unquote sucks, we're going to do it anyway. We'll have fun with it.
If you have a favorite camping beer, put it down in the comments.
Yeah. But let us know if there's any Transformers you want to see, any beers or any other spirits you want us to talk about. But I'm pretty sure none of these guys have got a Chris McFeely video.
Pretty sure.
But I could be wrong. If Chris McFeely, if you happen to watch our channel, let us know if you've got one about the Sparkabots and Firecons. But if you want to know more about Transformers in general, tfwiki.net is absolutely the best place to go, in my opinion. It's a great wiki. It's got all kinds of cool information on it. So as we get ready to sign off on this kind of a fast episode for us, but it's okay because we got work to do downstairs. We got to get back on that floor.
I know.
As we close here, we like to say, play responsibly, well, with a toy, and please drink responsibly.
Yes.
And thanks for watching us here at BeerFormers.
When it meets the ride.
Cheers! It's the camping season.